don't think the wirehouses will accept. There could be two, or these two, maybe Solana, maybe. But I don't think that the wirehouse platforms will want to do more than the majors, right? Just to give their clients exposure to this new asset class. What I do think is, and we have some of these, that private funds are going to sift through the thousands out there and probably find, 20 or 30.
As implausible as her $1.5 million Bitcoin price prediction, ARK Invest founder and CEO Cathie Wood is now even more enthusiastic on the largest cryptocurrency by market value. The massive success of Bitcoin ETFs since January has given Cathie hope for Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency industry. ETFs have consistently outperformed forecasts and raised tens of billions of dollars, save for a few weak weeks. Recent reports say IBIT has been a big success. Cathie expects inflows to increase as wirehouses spread the items into trad new finance. She thinks these ETFs will fail compared to wirehouses like Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America. Cathie thinks billions of dollars in ETF revenue will rise to hundreds of billions, and multiple wirehouses are interested in Bitcoin ETFs and the cryptocurrency. Cathie is updating her schedule for 1 million dual Bitcoin because she expects the action will boost Bitcoin values. She now expects us to reach this vast timeline much sooner than 2030. Here are highlights from her fireside talk with Peter McCormack at CoinDesk's Consensus 2024 conference. Enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post alerts.
Well, a lot of people found ARK because of Bitcoin in our early days. And so they were in the retail space, individuals who were just buying for their own accounts. What has changed is we are now talking to the major platforms. So we call them wirehouses, so Morgan Stanley, UBS, Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo. And they are in deep due diligence, like, okay, what is this? We have to have a point of view now. They actually have an index against which they're going to be judged, and that's an ETF, right? Now Bitcoin is part of how they're going to be graded. And while no major platform has yet put any of the spot Bitcoin ETFs on its platform yet, we think that's coming. We can tell from the kinds of questions they're asking. They're asking deep questions, not only about Bitcoin itself, but about infrastructure, ops, risks, and so the heat is on because this is a new asset class. Bitcoin is a new asset class. It's a monetary system to be sure, but it also represents a new asset class. And what that means in our world is that as a fiduciary, someone looking after portfolios for people, a fiduciary has to consider a new asset class because of the low correlation with other assets in terms of returns and risk. And so if you add Bitcoin to an existing portfolio, if that is right, and this is low correlation asset, what that means is over time, returns per unit of risk will go up. So if one platform has Bitcoin and offers that opportunity of diversification and higher risk-adjusted returns, and another doesn't, then they're going to have a problem if this one's right.
Last month at a Bitcoin conference in London, Bitwise CIO Matt Hugin stressed the importance of wirehouses and how much they would affect spot Bitcoin ETFs. Hugin predicted that major national platforms like Morgan Stanley and UBS would greatly increase access to Bitcoin ETFs, increasing demand multiple times over. Cathie discussed changing political dynamics in Washington, specifically regarding the Bitcoin industry. Last Wednesday, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Finance Technology for the 21st Century Act. FIT 21 regulates cryptocurrencies and divides duties between the Crypto-Friendly Commodity Futures Trading Commission (CFTC) and Gary Gensler. The measure requires the CFTC to oversee functional, decentralized blockchain networks and the SEC to oversee functional, centralized ones. Cathie says the bill is a huge victory for the cryptocurrency industry, made even bigger by the fact that 71 Democrats crossed party lines to vote in favor. This bipartisan support shows the growing acceptance and positive outlook for cryptocurrency regulation. Investor optimism. Let's return to Cathie's conversation.
The ETFs are a wonderful structure. They can scale. You've got an ecosystem. This is not just the 10 companies or how many are still in operation. I don't know if any, I don't think any has outright failed yet, but the ecosystem, the structure is extremely flexible because the authorized participants, the market makers, are not inside one firm. We have dozens of authorized participants, and those are the big brokerage houses. So this is another reason they're being not forced into this, they're being lured into this, because the ecosystem, authorized participants, market makers, is a very lucrative ecosystem. And these wirehouses host many of them. So I think, we could scale to hundreds of billions of dollars. The read was it was not going to be approved. It was absolutely not going to be approved. So what happened? If it were to have been approved the regular way, we would have been getting questions, meaning from the SEC, and no one was getting questions from the SEC beforehand. So that was an indication, no go, just, we'll have to try it again. What happened in 1 week's time, and I truly believe this was one of the things that happened, is there was sentiment evolving around this FIT 21 Act in the House that, wait a minute, this thing is gaining momentum on both sides of the aisle. And wow, this could be an election year issue. This is an election year. So the administration, I think, basically said, oh, and the other thing that happened was former President Trump has become much more cozy with Bitcoin, crypto generally, and that week said he would accept campaign donations in crypto. So again, this idea, this is an election year issue. And then I cannot tell you, I was on the phone with our COO, and he was like, he screamed when he saw this come across, like, what? It was within 3 days of being denied. We were sure. We were sure it was going to be denied. And I think it was this campaign election year. You've got the legislative branch, you've got former President Trump, you had, rapid fire, and boom, here we are. Will accept, there could be two, or these two, maybe Solana, maybe. But I don't think that the wirehouse platforms will want to do more than the majors, right? Just to give their clients exposure to this new asset class. What I do think is, and we have some of these, that private funds are going to sift through the thousands out there and probably find, 20 or 30. But you're going to have to do a tremendous amount of due diligence because, as you say, there's a lot of nonsense going on out there. Consider the source is that Art Laffer is one of his advisors. And Art Laffer and I were just in El Salvador together. So, and I've watched Art's evolution. He's 83 years old. He has served, I think, almost every president, but after his experience with President Nixon, he has never been paid by any of these presidents. And I'm saying on both sides of the aisle. And he is more excited about Bitcoin, and I've known him since 1976. He was my professor at University of Southern California, USC. I have not seen him more excited about anything. He's 83 years old right now, more excited about anything since Proposition 13 in California, which was property tax reform. But he's more excited about this because it has ramifications for the world, not just at that time, California.
Besides that, BlackRock's EBIT and other U.S. spots Bitcoin ETFs continue to see a lot of demand and inflows. On Wednesday, Bitcoin-based ETFs saw inflows for the 12th day in a row, which is the longest streak of positive flows since February's 14-day record. IBIT had net gains of $12.5 million, followed by Fidelity's FBTC, which had $34.351340. She thinks this could happen in the next few weeks. Please tell us what you think about Cathie's talk below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and turn on post alerts. Everything you do helps the YouTube algorithm and makes the channel grow a lot. Thanks for watching.